Good morning. How are you today? Let me know how you're going. We're headed for the end of the week. And it's a wonderful, very cool, compared to the last few weeks, beautiful day in Brisbane today. Now, while I'm wrapping my head around what we're going to talk about, let me know how you've been this week. What have you overcome this week? What are you aiming to overcome? Give yourself 5 seconds to breathe and go, yes, this is what I can see I'm doing this week. I can see a pattern, and this is where I'm developing my strength to overcome one aspect in my recovery. You know, it's a really good thing to sit down and reflect, and it's something I do overnight when I journal. Okay, when I was thinking about what we could talk about today, one of the things that came up, and it comes up in our life quite often, is toxic people. And when I think about complex PTSD and how it's now referred to scientifically as toxic stress, then it makes sense that we need to have a really good look at what toxic people are and why we need to learn skills around dealing with toxic people, why we need to understand what drives us emotionally when it comes to toxic people. Well, one of the most easiest ways I can explain toxic people and how we can begin to identify them is think about when you walk into a room and somebody's angry. Now, when you walk into that room, do you need to be told that person is angry? And you go, no, I don't need to be told that person's angry. You know, it pervades, the emotions pervade the air. They go around and they bounce off everyone. So when it comes to toxic people, it can often be like that in our day-to-day life, is we don't need to be told that they're like that. We know that it's just pervading the air around us and it's impacting us without any words that are being said, okay, needing to be said. But also, think about it like this too. When we were children, we had no language around this at all, and we didn't even know what a toxic person was. And when we're in families that are toxic, we think they're normal. So when we have to address these issues as adults and the rest of our family and friends are going, there's nothing wrong with them, then we have to be really, really courageous and sit back and go, that's because they think this is normal, and I now know that this other person's behaviour is not normal. It's toxic, okay? And, you know, even as I sit here today and wrap my head around that, I think, wow, I've never actually heard it explained in this way too. And also, as children, we didn't know that this type of thing it can be all spoken. It's implicit. It's implied, okay? Even how we should behave as children is implied. No words need to be said. It's all implied. Okay, so let's grab our infographic today and take a look at toxic people. Okay, so people who are toxic, they spread negativity, not just to you, not just in your relationship, but they spread it wherever they go. And it is toxic. And remember, when we walk into a room and somebody's angry, we can feel it. All our senses go through the air, and it does impact us. So we have to sit back and go, do I want to listen to this for the rest of my life or not? Do I want this having an impact on me or not? And the thing is, it erodes us when we're around that type of person day after day after day after day. It does erode our confidence. It erodes our ability to stay grounded and stay focused on where we're going. So, no, And we want to try not to be that person too, especially if we've grown up around it and we believe it's the norm. Once we understand it, we can turn us around as well. And that's the best part. We get to turn us around and say, no, thank you. I don't want to go there. Those who criticise you all the time. And we're as adults, we understand what that is. But I want you to look at implied criticism as well. So it doesn't have to be just spoken criticism and wearing you down and tearing you down. Think about everything that's not said. So I know when I was growing up, it was more about what was not said than anything that was said. You know, there was never any "I'm proud of you" or "you've done well," etc., etc. But there was also nothing ever said negative about it. So, for example, when you bring home a school report and you've got a lot of A's and you think, "Yay, I'm doing okay," there was nothing said as well. So that can wound us just as much as the fact that nothing ever gets said, because we are human and we need that communication. If people can't communicate with you, then it hurts, all right? So really sit down and think about, how am I acting? Am I learning to praise other people? Am I learning to identify and see areas where I can improve in this area? Because it does us and our heart and soul a lot of good too, when we can see good things for other people, good things that are happening for them, and we can feel happy for them. It changes our heart around too. It gives us, our heart, a really good feeling. So it's a really, really impactful way to impact, pardon the double use there, to our recovery process. Oh my gosh, my brain's all over the place this morning. Okay, those who play the victim, trust me, I think there's nothing more frustrating in this world than somebody who act like a crack record, go around the same speed, hit the same crack at the same time, again and again and again. Yeah, you get the picture. It's just, yes, we were victims. Absolutely. Yes, we had no choice, but we are adults now. We need to stand on our 2 feet and say, right, I can do this, but not only can I do this, I can find out how to do this. I can go and learn how to become equipped. And I'm also allowed to say no thank you to having people in my life who want to act like a crack record and don't change. It doesn't mean we don't have compassion for them. It doesn't mean we don't have compassion for ourselves. But it does mean that we step back and step into our lives and get on with doing recovery, as opposed to us staying in the same space in the same time, having to listen to somebody's crack record again and again and again. There are so many people in this world that are happy to connect and happy to say, yeah, this is happening for me. Can anyone help? This is happening for me, but this is what I'm doing about it. And this is happening for me, but I'm looking for insight and I'm going to work out what I need to do. If we become those people, then we do learn how to have compassion for ourselves too, okay? It's a good recovery tool. Those who waste your time. When I read this, I had to really think about those who waste your time. Now, there's a big difference between those who waste our time and those who need some of our time. And as a mum, I wish I'd understood so much of this so long ago. But identifying somebody who wastes our time, it's like they're on the same crack record, okay? I want you to think about it this way. Are they valuing my time? Are they appreciative of my time? Because these days time is a commodity. Yes, we need to slow down. Yes, we need to rest. Yes, we need to have a heart of compassion. No denial there at all. But we're talking about toxic people. So we're not talking about somebody who you just bump into and you end up having a chat. That's not a waste of time. That's connecting at a heart level. So another way to view somebody who wastes your time, are they connecting at a heart level, or are they just sitting there and going on like the crack record? It's a question we need to ask. Those who ignore clearly stated boundaries, and I can't emphasize this enough, boundaries aren't just about keeping people out at all. They're about developing our heart strength and courage and our ability to say, that's not healthy for me. Okay? And it's really, really hard to do when you're in recovery, to say that's not healthy for me, because you know that that other person's going to be hurt. But there's not a lot we can do about that, because we have to be willing to keep growing stronger. I always put it this way. When we're in a plane and you're there with a kid, they tell you to put your oxygen mask on first, because without it you can't help anyone else, you can't help your kid. We've got to learn to put our oxygen on masks. We are the first generation that's standing up and saying, right, we're aware of all this, we understand what's happening from complex PTSD. We've never had the language before. I've got to put my own oxygen mask on first, otherwise I'm going to run out of oxygen and I can't help myself, and therefore I'm not any good to anybody else either. Alright? It's the bottom line. Get the book on boundaries by Cloud and Townsend and absorb it. And, oh look, I have a client and they got the book and they read it, and it really impacted how they were able to parent their teenager. So this is why we do this work. Okay, we want to impact the next generation. Okay, so those who are like a stuck record and want you to fix, really come across as those who want you to fix their life. So you'll find that you're going to be giving them lots of information all the time, on repeat, and they act like they want you to fix their life, but they go off and do nothing about change, all right? And they're exactly like the person that you walk into the room and you can feel the anger and you know it's there. You know that this person won't do anything to fix their life. And I have a relative who is like this, and I've had to put very firm boundaries in place and say, no more. I can't do this. When we've done everything that we possibly can and the person is showing us that they do not want to do anything to change, we have to accept that in some way they're happy in their misery, because if they weren't happy in their misery, they'd do something to change. Okay? Once I realised this, it made it easier to start saying no to toxic people and understanding that I'm not the person that's going to have an impact in their life that helps them see that they need change. So the best thing that I can do for them is step back. Okay, I hope that helps you today, give you some information so that you understand and can start working towards a healthier recovery for you. Remember, we're the turtles. We win the race because we take our time and do it one day, one step at a time. Blessings and dreams, and I'll catch you tomorrow. Bye for now.